Hello guys, welcome to this video lesson. Language is an expression of oneself. Language is an expression of your interaction. It reveals your identity, your personality, your emotions, your feelings, your ideas, your concepts, and whatnot. Language is the soul of one's expression and personality. Language is the soul of communication, and communication establishes relationships. Every language has got its own rules, principles, and theories, how to use it, where to use it, and how not to use it. We are very familiar with what is called grammar. Grammar is one such theory or rule according to which every language is being used. Grammar is in fact a set of structural rules, a set of rules and principles to speak and write a language. It governs the compositions of words, phrases, and clauses according to which every natural language is being used. The word grammar derives from the Greek word grammatike, which means art of letters. In fact, grammar is called the backbone of every language. Every language is composed of several components, elements, and entities according to which a language is being used by the users of a language. English language has got parts of speech. We begin with the parts of speech. At the outset of this video lesson, I would like to share a beautiful quote by Aristotle, one of the ancient Greek philosophers and polymath of ancient Greece with you. In making a speech, one must study 3 points. First, the means of producing persuasion. Second, the language. Third, the proper arrangement of the various parts of speech. So you might be knowing the inevitable importance, how mandatory, how imperative is for a language learner or a speaker to know parts of the speech. So the parts of the speech indicates how every word functions, meaning as well as grammatically within the sentence. I told you that grammaticality or grammar, it's a set of structural rules of how words are used, how words are joined into sentences, clauses, phrases, and long sentences, how they are being used in every context with the relevance and appropriateness. Now, we have 8 parts of speech, but then there is a slight change toward the end of the video lesson. At the initial stage, parts of speech are divided into 8 sections. You can see it. Nouns, pronouns, verbs, adverbs, adjectives, conjunction, preposition, interjections. We shall see one by one. What is a noun? A noun is a word that names a person, place, or thing. We use a plurality of nouns in our everyday talk. For example, William is the name of a person. New York City is the name of a place. Building is a thing. Table, chair, pen, pencil, all these are objects, and these all are nouns. So the name of a person, or for example, a common thing which you call as a man, woman, a girl, boy, all these are nouns. Place names, for example, it needn't be New York City itself, maybe a temple, church, school, college, hospital, institution, all these are nouns. And things, as I told you, lots of objects we have in and around us, all these are nouns. And ideas, love, passion, emotion, all these are ideas. Wisdom, childhood, all these are nouns. So here we have a chart full of types of nouns, different types of nouns. The names of a person, it is of course called personal nouns. You have different names: William, Jack, John, Kate, Kevin, etc. All these are called personal nouns. And you begin proper nouns. You begin a proper noun with a capital letter. Okay. And then you have something called common nouns. Common nouns are common things that you see around you. For example, dog, animal, cats, bench, chair, table, pen, etc. All these are common, and they are called common nouns. And then you have nouns, collective nouns. Collective means, for example, you have a stack of books. The stack is a collective noun. A bunch of keys, a bunch of grapes, a bouquet of flowers, all these are collective nouns. And then you have compound nouns, for example, myself, cowboy, boyfriend, classmates, output, etc. Because these are a combination of two words, small words or common words, together joined to form compound nouns. And then you have possessive nouns. What are possessive nouns? It shows whose bag is that? If you ask a random question, whose bag is that? It is mine. Who is going? I myself is going. So a boy's ball, apostrophe s. You usually write a possessive noun with an apostrophe s. A noun, for example, in boy's ball or a girl's doll, my friend's house, teacher's books. So whose object or whose possession, that is being revealed through using possessive nouns, and you denote it, you represent it graphically by using an apostrophe s. And then you have something called countable and uncountable nouns. What are they? Nouns, common objects, common things which you can count. They are countable nouns. For example, you can count books, you can count pens, you can count flowers, of course. But can you count sugar? No, you cannot. Can you measure or can you count water? No. Can you count tea? No, you cannot. So for that, you have to use separate other words, category of words like much, more, little, a few, many, etc. So these are called countable and uncountable nouns. Pen, book, girl, flower, all these are countable nouns. And sugar, rice, water, oil, juice, all these are uncountable nouns. Now, you have another set of nouns called the abstract nouns. Why do you call them abstract? They denote abstract notions or concepts. You cannot touch them, you cannot see them. For example, love. You feel it, you experience love. Happiness, you cannot see happiness, you can just experience happiness. So nouns which denote, which represent these abstract notions which you cannot touch, which you cannot see, which you cannot smell, only you can experience and feel, they are called abstract nouns. I've given you suitable examples, that is fraction, happiness, uptake, joy, fiction, childhood, boredom, etc., etc. Yes. Now we are moving to the second important parts of speech, a pronoun. You can see the statements given there. Sam is sick. Sam called the doctors. Sam's mother is worried. Sam's mother called Sam's uncle. Sam's uncle is a surgeon. Do you feel it's awkward to use Sam on and on again? Again. The Sam, the word, the proper noun, Sam, you just look at that, it's a proper noun, it's the name of a person. It begins with an S, as we have already seen in the part of speech noun. It is a proper noun because it is a name of a person. It begins with an capital letter. So, proper nouns begin with an uppercase. Here, S is a capital. Sam is being repeated on and on. You need another word. Another relevant word which is very pertinent to the name Sam, so that you avoid or omit using Sam again and again in the statement. You can see the next example. Sam is sick. He called the doctors. His mother is worried. She called his uncle, who is a surgeon. The words which are highlighted in red, they are called pronouns. Pronoun instead of noun. Words, a set of words, a category of words which are used to support or used instead of a noun, to avoid, to stop or omit this kind of awkwardness and repeatedly using it on and on, are called pronouns. You have plenty of pronouns here. I, her, you, them, herself, him, we, they, etc. Again, you have he, we, us, she, I. All these are used once you have used a proper noun or a common noun at the beginning of a sentence. You continue with the sentences, you continue with your conversation by using the pronouns instead of nouns. And that is the reason why these set of words are called pronouns. So here is a big chart of the English pronouns. You have categories among them: subject pronouns, object pronouns, possessive pronouns, reflexive pronouns. And you can see the difference, how finely the subtle difference between each category of pronouns. Okay. As you all know, every sentence we shall have a closer look of a sentence structure in our upcoming video lessons. This is for your kind information that every sentence is made up of two parts, subject and a predicate. The dominant person, the dominant thing, or the dominant content who is doing the action or upon whom the action is being done is the subject, of course. So, pronouns which are used in the place of a subject. For example, I, you, he, she, it, we, you, they. They are called the subject pronouns. Pronouns which are used in the position of object, we shall see what an subject is, what an object is, etc. All those details, we shall have a very closer look at a detailed learning in the upcoming videos. Here, you can see different kind of pronouns which can replace nouns in actual conversation or in your any kind of discourse, speech or written documents. When you talk in first person, when I am talking to you, I say I. This is the first person. When I'm referring to you guys, it's you. You are the second person. And when I talk you, there is a boy there, there's a girl there, I refer to her or I refer to that person as he or she, and that is called the third person. And you have both singular and plural in that. When it is singular, you call it he or him, and when it is plural, a group of boys, you call it them. Okay, and you have a reflexive and possessive pronouns. You can see that whose pen is that? Whose bag is that? It is mine. Whom are you talking to? I myself. He is talking to himself. So this is how possessive pronouns and reflexive pronouns are differentiated. Possessive pronouns and reflexive pronouns. Possessive pronouns, they show possession. Whose is that? It is mine. Whose is this? It is yours. Whose bag is that? It is his bag. It is her bag. This is ours. Oh, those are yours. It is theirs. It shows possession. Okay. And reflexive pronouns. Every personal possessive pronoun do have a very complementary reflexive pronouns to it. I, myself. You, yourself. He, himself. She, herself. It, itself. We, ourselves. You, yourselves. They, themselves. So I hope you understand the sequence, how it goes. Every subject pronouns, every possessive pronouns has got its own reflexive pronouns. And when do you use a reflexive pronoun? It is used when the subject, the object and subject of a sentence is the same pronoun. The subject pronoun is I myself went to the school. I myself went to this office. So today I didn't get any bus, I didn't get any lift, or nobody took me to office. So I walked to the college by myself. So here, the subject and the object is the same pronoun. So in such cases, we use reflexive pronouns. I hope you remember the sequence. Every subject's pronouns have got its own reflexive pronouns. We're moving on to the third set of parts of speech, very important, in which you have some action and some motor skills. A verb. What is a verb? It's a word which describes the action in a sentence, the doing word. When you do something, when physically you do something, when an action takes place, this is called, when something is being done, this is called a verb. You can see the examples and see the highlighted words in yellow color. I play football. They skip quickly. We eat spaghetti. Bob is 7 today. So you can see the yellow colored words, which shows something is being done, some action is being done. But then, may I ask you something? When you say, I dreamt of something today. I dreamt of being, a celebrity today. So it's dreaming. That too, even if it's not a physical action, even if something is not being done, it is an action, it shows an action. That is in fact a verb. When an action where something is happening, it's called a verb. Yes. Mom, can I run to the post office? I jumped over the puddles. You swam fast in the race. See the red colored words? Run, jumped, swam. Verbs which are written in different tense forms. Run, present tense. Jumped, past tense. Swam, past tense. So these are verbs. Verbs are definitely action verbs. They are doing words. Something is being done. Here you have different varieties of verbs. Normal verbs which are showing, which represent or they show action. Lay, drive, eat, run. They're common verbs showing actions. You have stative verbs. Believe, seem, taste. Here you have different sets and categories of verbs. Action verbs, they show some dynamics is there, action is there, doing is there, something is being done. Lay, drive, eat, run. They are action verbs which show normal action. Stative verbs, believe, seem, taste. What are stative verbs? They show a state of being, what status you are. You know what a status is, the current situation or the condition in which you are placed yourself. They don't have any dynamics or any action or any movement related to it. They are called stative verbs. You believe it, it seems that, and that's not a good taste. So this is how stative verbs are being used. Active form of verbs are there, passive forms are there. He played football, it shows an action, it's an active, the subject he, the pronoun he, it's a boy of course, and he played football, and it's a running condition, it's an occurrence which is very active. And the cars were made, this is the passive form. So there's a difference between active and passive form. When the subject is acted upon, the cars were made. When the action or the verb is acted upon the subject, it is a passive form. Then you have phrasal verbs. Phrasal verbs, they are small entities which consist of small verb forms along with preposition. They are particles. Prepositional particles are being attached, and when these two join together, they produce newer meanings. Then you have main verbs. Every sentence have got subject and predicate, and the major action which takes place inside a sentence, inside a situation, or the situation of the context in which the statement is made, is called the main verb. And then you have called some verbs small particles like be, is, was, were, do, does, did, have, has, had. All these support, they assist, they accelerate the main verbs. They are called the linking verbs or the helping verbs. Of course, do, have, be, all they have their own versions. Do, did, does, etc. and have, has, had. All these are helping verbs which help the main verbs to stand in position inside a sentence or a context. We have another set of important verbs which denote the mood, the condition, the emotion and feeling of the speaker. And they are called the modal verbs or the modal auxiliaries. Should, can, might, must. All these are examples. What do they represent? They tell you what kind or what is the current mood or what is the condition of the speaker. What is the speaker, the person who uses the language, who utters, who renders the statement, what do he mean by that? Sometimes he may be requesting to you, may I have your book please? It is a request. Shut up. It's an order. Okay, and you should not do that. This is an order. And he might be coming today. It might rain today. It's a possibility. So all these things represent or reveals the inner mood or condition or the emotion or the feeling. What does he mean? The purpose of the statement, whether it is a request, whether it is a command, whether it is a possibility or a probability, etc., etc. Or it shows a skill. I can dance well. It shows that your skill or faculty to dance well, your ability, it shows. So all these shows the mood. The modal verbs, the modal auxiliaries, they represent or they embody the mood of the speaker and mood of the context in which the statement is being used. Okay. Here is the next category of parts of speech, which you call adverb. And from the word, from the very name itself, you will understand, you might be knowing that it's related to, it pertains to that of verbs. It has got something to do with verbs. An adverb is a word that modifies a verb, an adjective or another adverb. See the example there. Some explorers visit amazingly beautiful places. Of course, you can see the beautiful places. What is the main verb there? Visiting. Visiting beautiful places by some explorers. That is the context, and that is the main verb. And amazingly is a word which tells you or which describes your visit. It was a splendid, it was a marvelous visit. It was a wonderful journey. So that is a word, amazingly, is a word which describes or which opens up more and more detailings and information about the main verb visit. And therefore, they are called the adverbs. See the next example. Others quite bravely explore the unknown space, and which is your adverb. You can see it quite bravely. So the exploration, the investigation, the hunt or the research is very brave. It's very audacious and it is fearsome. It is indeed quite brave. It's an adventurous exploration. So all these fine details, all these subtle matters is provided or it's furnished to the listeners by the word bravely. And that is the reason why such words which modifies a verb or an adjective or another adverb, they are termed as adverbs. Okay, again, you have more and more explanations on that. I often visit the library. It is surprisingly hot today. It is not just hot today, it's a hot day. No, it is surprisingly hot. So it shouldn't be a hot day today. You don't expect it to be a hot day today. It is surprisingly hot day. Maybe it is monsoon season or it's a winter season. And then quite unusually, it is hot. So you understand what kind of a day is today. You understand why it is unusually hot today. So all these things you understand from the adverb surprisingly. The train travels very quickly. Very quickly is the adverb which describes or which modifies the term, the verb, the action verb traveling. And I do visit the library often. That is, you are a frequent visitor to the library. It doesn't show that you are to the library, not just today, you are not there for today only, or you are seldom. No, you are a frequent, you visit the library every now and then. All these details you understand from the adverb often. So guys, you have more and more examples of adverbs, how they are used and what does an adverb do to an adjective, to a verb and another adverb. So adverbs, they modifies, they describes They give more and more information and details about not just verb, but about other adjectives in the statement and other adverbs which are used in the statement. So have a very close look at these examples. You have 6 types of adverbs here. You can see the names of the adverbs, examples, and statements. Adverbs which denote time, for example, how frequently or when the point of time, the temporal points is being shown. Yesterday, today, lately, already it is done, ago, before, never. I haven't done it, never ever. It will happen too soon, very soon. This will come. All these things are adverbs which show the time, the point of time. And then you can have certain words which shows how frequently the action takes place. It is always cold in this room. I normally go to the gym. They often go out for dinner. These words always, usually, normally, sometimes, occasionally, once, all these represent, they denote how often or how frequent this action takes place. And then certain words denote or gives you hints or gives you intimations about where the action takes place. Here, there, near, nearby, backwards, away, upwards, etc. It shows where your action, the verb, the action, where it takes place. And then you have words which shows in what form and what pace, how speedy it takes place, slowly, beautifully, delightfully, loudly, badly, etc., bravely, beautifully, etc. These are adverbs of manner, the mode in which the action takes place. And then you have words like almost, fully, rather, quiet, too, enough, perfectly. All these shows the magnitude of the action, the degree, and that's why they are called the adverbs of degree. I'm fully prepared today. I'm rather busy. I'm too tired. They are perfectly suited, and she is almost 30. So it shows the degree, the magnitude, the hugeness. Adverbs of affirmation tells you, convinces you that it is affirmed, it is positive, it is sure. It shows the certainty, it shows the certitude of the action. You have a set of adverbs here. Happily, carefully, very, sadly, loudly, joyfully, angrily, quietly, carelessly, energetically, nervously. I wish you would make sentences of your own using each adverbs to see how it works out for a practice. Now, we move on to the next parts of speech, which is even more important. We have seen adverbs, a category of words which describes and modifies a verb or an adjective or another adverb in a statement. Now, let us see a set of words, a group of words that describe the nouns, and they are called adjectives. An adjective is a describing word. An adjective gives more information about something. It generally describes a noun. A noun is a person, a thing, a place, an idea, etc., etc. The green monster. Look at the green monster. You can see the monster. Okay, you are looking at it, and the noun is the monster. And how do you know what kind of a monster it is? The green monster. So the word green represents, or the green denotes the monster. So the monster is green in color. You understand more about the monster from the word green. Now look at the balloon. What kind of a balloon it is? It's a blue balloon. Look at the creature there, which is feeling very cold, and the boy who is really happy. So the words blue, cold, happy, green, all these gives you details and information and descriptions about the nouns. and they are hence called the adjectives. So an adjective describes a noun. It may be describing the sound, the size, the look, the taste, how many are there, how big it is, what is the behavior, how does it appear, how does it smell, how much it is, the magnitude, etc., etc. All these details are being described by an adjective. You have different adjectives here. It's a word which describes a noun or a pronoun, of course. Adjectives, they describe not only a noun but pronouns too. See, the color, the size, the shape, taste, the order, the texture, the sound, the number, the weather, the behavior. How many numbers are there? There are few balloons there. There are 50 apples in the basket. There are so many books on the shelf. There are only 2 boys in the classroom. So these are numbers. So all these fine details are being provided to you when you read a statement. Nouns, everything, every details about ample amount of details and descriptions about a noun is being revealed through using adjectives. What is a compound adjective? A single adjective made up of more than one word. Look at those examples. A once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, a must-watch kind of a book, or a must-read kind of a book, or a must-watch kind of a movie, film, a white-sided dolphin, a three-tiered castle, a 400-page novel. Here, so many adjectives are, so many words, they join to form a single adjective, and they are denoted, they are represented by using hyphens in between. You can see once in a lifetime, a must read. In between, you will use hyphens, short hyphens, but they are a single word. They are a single adjectives, and such adjectives are called common adjectives, compound adjectives. And these days, we have a tendency to use compound adjectives in our daily conversations. Sometimes, this adverbs, here you can see a list of adjectives from which adverbs are formed. They are complementary to each other. An adjective which corresponds to the adverb slow, slowly, quick, quickly, beautiful, beautifully. So you are able to make adverbs out of a set of adjectives like slow, quick, angry, busy, easy, happy, healthy, tidy, unhappy, etc. Please keep in mind one thing, that adjectives increase the power, energy, the appearance, the weight, the density of your talk, your discourses. They become more powerful, they become more alluring and charming by using these power words. Adjectives, they modify your discourses, your speech, as well as your talk. As many as adjectives, but they shouldn't look too redundant. But then you can use a couple of adjectives in your speech as well as in your writing. Both gives density, and they look more attractive. Your discourses are more appealing by the use of adjectives. So here we come to an end of this video lesson. See you guys in the next video lesson. Thank you for watching.